I have tons of quilts and blankets, and nowhere to go with them. But a few weeks ago, I saw this quilt rack in an antique mall and thought, I could make something like that. I'm going to make this out of 1x10 pine, which simplifies the process, since it's wide enough to make the sides out of without having to glue up any panels. I'll cut 2 pieces roughly 3 feet long. Now I need to shape these. I'll cut a 45-degree angle on the miter saw and then round off the corners with a jigsaw. This shape will allow 3 rods to be positioned at low, medium, and high heights. Then a circular cutout at the bottom to create feet. I'll finish these rounded parts with some sanding and dremeling. With a 1-inch bit, I can drill out the 3 holes that the rods will go into. All of this happens twice to make 2 sides. Then a rough sanding to smooth out any divots or scratches. For a little pizzazz, the outside edges are going to get a chamfer. I'll set up a stop towards the bottom so the edge profile doesn't go all the way down. Then I'll make a quick pass around all the other edges with a round over bit on both sides of the pieces. And for even more pizzazz, I came up with this tulip design to cut into the sides. To transfer it to the wood, I'm going to use some carbon paper under the pattern and just trace over it. Then I'll drill some holes and use a jigsaw to cut it out. Some of the tight curves and points take a bit of back and forth to get at. Clearly things are pretty rough at this point, so I'll go at the flowers with a rasp and some small files. Thin strips of sandpaper with duct tape on the back for strength work perfectly for softening the edges. The next step is to make the 2 support rails running horizontally along the bottom. For those, I'm using some 1x4 pine. They'll get cut to length and the edges rounded over. It helps to have a scrap that can be flush with the end so the router doesn't roll around the corner and cut into the end that's supposed to be a tight fit against another piece. The last parts to make are the 3 rods. Not much to make. I'm using 1-inch poplar dowels, and I've cut them to about 34 inches long. Now for assembly. I'm attaching the rails with dowels, so I'll mark and drill holes in the sides and rails. I'll glue the dowels in place now. Then with one side clamped upright, I'll apply glue to this side and get the rails and rods in position. Then I'll apply glue to the other side and press that into place, securing everything with clamps. When that's dry, I'll saw off the overhanging rods and then sand them down flat. This leg ended up mysteriously floating 1/8 of an inch in the air, so I just cut a little scrap to fit and glued it on. No one will ever know. To finish things off, I'll just wipe on some paste wax. And this quilt rack is done. I think a simple design is perfect for a piece like this. The tulip detail came out nicely, and it really adds a lot. Now it's all ready to be loaded up with cozy quilts and blankets. Thanks for watching.